Caroline?
Let's talk Jamaica. It had a banner 2018. As the world's best performing stock exchange, the island's main index outperformed, well, everyone, like all 94 national benchmarks tracked by Bloomberg. And while actually the meteoric rise has not let up this year, the Jamaican Stock Exchange is up 30% year to date. And this is just as the IMF says the country's economy is looking, well, healthier than ever before. Let's celebrate it now with the Stock Exchange Managing Director, Marlene Street Forrest. Celebrate the fact that it's 50 years old.
Yes.
That you've had these killer few years. What is then the secret sauce? What is getting it so right in terms of the bets on
it
companies?
is really to do with the economy. You know that we are stable and persons are optimistic about Jamaica. The business people, the consumers, we are optimistic about what is going on in Jamaica. And over those couple of years, what we also have been doing is encouraging Jamaican companies to do better in terms of their corporate governance, training, etc. So we have been putting in the hard work for the companies to perform well, and it is paying dividend.
I just looked, there's no Jamaica ETF, and I'm curious if there's a lot of interest from outside of Jamaica to more easily be able to invest in the country, and whether that is something that may be in the works, more vehicles for international investors to easily invest in your stock market.
So Sagicor has just launched an ETF.
Oh, there is?
Yes, so there was one just launched about 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay.
It's not directly called ETF, but it does the same thing. Until FSC does the total work in respect to the regulations. So we are moving in that direction. As a result of that, too, we have just really put in 2 new indices. So we have had, in the last 6 months, the financial index and also the manufacturing and distribution index. All of that in anticipation of really doing more ETFs.
What type of interest are you seeing from foreigners with regards to investing in Jamaica?
It is growing very rapidly, which is why, too, we are here in New York, and we were just in Canada, because people are curious, people are seeing the results as shown by the index. But more so, what is happening is that when you look on how the companies themselves are performing, they are performing well. There is a dividend payout, there is the stock price appreciation. So overall, we are doing pretty good. And as you know, the stock exchange is really a barometer of the economy.
I'm just digging into the outperformers, the individual stocks here. Barita Investments up 410% in the last 12 months. The exchange itself is traded, and you've done rather well, up at 180%. Radio Jamaica, Caribbean, cement. What sectors really outperform in Jamaica?
We have the banking sector that is doing well. The manufacturing sector is also doing well. And the banking and finance is doing well. So those sectors are doing well. And what we also have now in terms of the junior market, because we do have a junior market and a main market, and the junior market, all sectors, companies from all sectors are actually coming in to be listed on the exchange.
So when we look at some of the companies that were just on the screen there, that were popping up on the screen here, I mean, it's a pretty diversified mix. And I mean, one of the knocks on a lot of economies in the Caribbean and in that part of the world is the lack of diversification. And I'm just wondering, what is sort of the thread that got you to this point where you have this kind of diversification in your economy, in your market this way? I mean, what did you do right?
So what we did in terms of companies, we did not cherry pick. So the stock exchange really went out, and instead of being order takers, because most stock exchange are order takers, people come into them when they are ready. We actually went out to companies and we say, you have a good company here. Why not look to equity capital as against debt? Because a couple of years ago, the debt interest rate was very high. And really what that did was stagnate many companies. So we really had an opportunity to say to companies, look at debt, look at equity as against debt. Many companies were afraid of doing that because one of the things that they feel many times, because most of our companies are small and medium sized, they think that if they do that, they immediately lose their company. Our message had to be on target to say no. There is a regulation that 20% must be in the hands of 100 shareholders. They still have 80% of the company. So we went out and we spoke with companies. We also engaged IDB in terms of putting on a program that says access to equity capital. And we went out and we looked at for these companies and we actually worked with them to come to market. So it's more order making as against order taking.
All right. Well, this is a very interesting story, of course, unfolding there in Jamaica. And our thanks here to Marlene Street Forrest. She's the managing director of Jamaica's Stock Exchange.